politics, business, sports, arts, music. Mike and Marty on the beat. Mike and Marty. Mike and Marty on the beat. Mike and Marty. Mike and Marty on the beat. Mike and Marty.
Good morning and welcome to the feed. It is Wednesday, March 18th. I'm here with Amy Parnell from the Great Falls Great Falls Chamber of Commerce. We've taken out the ER in the regional, shortened it. It was a mouthful.
Yeah.
Truly. So Amy's going to catch us up on that. We have a busy festival season coming up.
Yeah. So excited about that.
Awesome.
So
I'm going to jump into local events
do that first.
And then just so we can get that out of the way.
Yep.
So at the Bells Falls Opera House, the classic movie this evening is Phantom of the Opera. It is sponsored by JP Trucking and Hodgkins and Sons, and it definitely has one of the best. I think Phantom of the Opera has one of the best soundtracks out there. So if you like really good music and a good storyline, Phantom of the Opera. Just a reminder yet again that Cabaret is coming to the Opera House starting April 3rd and playing through the 12th. The Wild Goose Players are hard at work perfecting the performance. And if you'd like to go see the performance, but maybe you don't want to pay or can't pay to see the performance, the Bells Falls Opera House is seeking ushers, volunteer people to be ushers for the various performances. So that's a great way to both give back to the community by helping the Opera House out and to get to see the performance. Because once you get everybody seated and the show starts, for the most part, your job is done. So that's a great way. Reach out to the Opera House to find out more about that. This coming Saturday is Conversations with the Legislators at Rockingham Memorial Library. Rockingham Free Public Library. That's from 10:30 until 12. It's up in the meeting room upstairs, and you'll see Michelle Boslin, Leslie Goldman, Wendy Harris, and Nader Hassim. Usually all of them are there, sometimes not all of them, but you get to actually sit in a circle and ask them questions. And then a little later on in the morning at 11:30 to 12:15, I believe, is the time. It was postponed from last month, but Michelle Boslin is going to do learning about the legislative process, a special little presentation for people that aren't quite up to speed. It's pretty complicated, all the legislative stuff. So she's going to do a little talk about that. So those are local events. Let's jump into festivals.
Yeah.
So you have control over the graphics now.
Okay. Oh, I do.
I believe you do.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. Yeah. So this year, we are so thrilled to announce that we have taken on the organization of the Herrick's Cove Wildlife Festival in partnership with the Vermont Fish and Wildlife Department, the Ascutney Mountain Audubon Society, and Great River Hydro. They've been doing this festival since 2000. I myself attended it 10 years ago when I first moved here with my brand new baby and knew nobody and was feeling like, are we going to be okay here? And then I came to this festival and suddenly saw, oh yeah, we are going to be okay. There are other families here that like to do things outdoors, and we made some of our first friends at this festival.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so it's really dear to my heart personally, and also it's just a celebration of what makes this area so special.
Now, how did it come about that you ended up, the chamber took it over? How did that come about?
So I was in my office in December, and Matt Cole from Great River Hydro came in to talk with me about this. They've been doing this for some time, and they were looking for some new energy. My background's in wildlife conservation outreach. I was a Peace Corps volunteer in Gabon from 2003 to 2005, and worked on wildlife festivals over there and ecotourism and community building through those vehicles. So it was a really natural fit for me.
Yeah, that's wild. That's like kismet, right?
Yeah. And I was actually that very moment looking for something for us to do in May to kind of launch the festival season, get volunteers together and kind of get this rhythm of coming together frequently to celebrate as a community. And so now we've got May 3rd, which is the Sunday, the first Sunday in May, the day after Green Up Day, is the Wildlife Festival at Herrick's Cove. And then August 1st, oh my goodness, let me go down because dates really don't stick in my brain. So yes, the Herrick's Cove Wildlife Festival is May 3rd. Rockingham Old Home Days is Saturday, August 1st. And the Southern Vermont Flannel Festival will be held Saturday and Sunday, October 17th and 18th. So now we've got these 3 festivals, and we're keeping the opportunities that we had last year for sponsorship. You can sponsor an individual event if that aligns with your organization's mission or your personal mission. But now we also have sponsorship bundles that offer additional benefits to the sponsors as well as cost savings by bundling
Right, because
them.
you're bundling up.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
So if you want to find out more about this, you can go to the Great Falls Chamber website. It is live as of today at gfrcc.org, and click on the GFRCC Regional Festival Series sponsorships, and you can find all the information you need about that. We've got different tiers of sponsorship bundles available also.
Well, it's kind of nice because each one of the festivals kind of targets a different audience. So folks in the community can either decide they just want to be a general sponsor, like you said, or they can say, okay, I really want to target the audience that's going to benefit my business maybe the most. So it's
Right.
nice that you have both options.
Yep.
But I would vote for sponsoring them all, just saying.
Yeah, more bang for your buck.
Exactly,
And it just
exactly.
it means that you are sporting this whole cohesive idea of our community coming together across different themes and just subject matter, but we all come together to celebrate these things.
Right, right. To be community and to get out, like they're all outside, to get outside, to meet people you might not meet. Is there anything that's going to be particularly new at the Wildlife Festival this year, or have you not quite gotten to the nitty gritty on it? I mean, I know
Well-
there's the standard things. There'll be the raptures,
Yeah.
correct? And there'll be lots of booths
Yeah.
and lots of things for kids to do. And I think they do, bird watch or something?
There's
bird walks?
bird watching walks. They have many exhibitors. Usually, Vin's is there with the raptor program. There's Lindsay's Puppets is always a favorite with her great big puppets. One of my personal favorites is the T-shirt making, where you get to put the little cutout butterflies and dragonflies and do spray paint on your T-shirt.
Oh, neat.
We make a new one each year, and that's something that people can do for free. That is one of the other things that I really love about this festival is it's entry by donation. So cost shouldn't be a barrier for people attending this. And we're working with Rotary to get more access to transportation. I've already had.
That's a big one. That's,
Yeah.
that's a really tough nut. But,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep. But I've also had some other folks offer to, like, I know there's one person who has a van that said that they can help drive, and so
nice.
yeah, we're gonna try to increase the accessibility. I'm talking with the folks at the farmers market about maybe having expanded food access through WIC or other programs. We really want this to be a celebration that anybody can come to and feel that they belong.
Nice.
Yeah. And then, so the other opportunity that is coming with these festivals is for volunteers. I do have a sign up form on our website, and it is not live yet, but I can, I'll make it be there soon.
So, I think it's helpful. Like myself, I'm a person that likes to know what I'm getting into before I get into it. What does it look like to be a volunteer? Is there a minimum amount of time you have to volunteer? What are duties that you might have to do? If you could just talk to that a little bit.
Yeah, so there's a broad range of tasks that come with making a festival happen. It's
true.
And so I feel like there are opportunities for all different ages and abilities. If you're somebody who likes to talk with people, you might want to sit at the entry booth and do the tickets. There's also a person who goes around and chats with all the vendors and makes sure that they are having a break. If they're there by themselves, you
that's
sit
a
in
good
and
one.
watch their shop.
Oh, nice.
That's a fun one to do. There are parking attendants. Maybe if you are less
People,
social,
less people-y, if it gets too
maybe you
people-y
don't
for
like
you.
to talk to everybody all the time. You can make signs and show people where to go. There's also people that help set up the tents themselves and the chairs. So if you are sturdy and strong and like to do that kind of physical contribution, that's another way. And then there's also, being an ambassador for it, sharing this information with people that you might think are interested. So that's another way that people can make an impact, is just to say, hey, did you hear that there are these 3 really cool community festivals happening around Rockingham?
What's
Come
the
check them
average
out.
volunteer commitment? Like, I'm assuming you have a minimum block of time?
Yeah, so if you're volunteering on the day of, it tends to be a 3 or 4 hour shift. And volunteers receive, if it's a paid entry, so like Flannel Festival, you get a free ticket. And you also get a $15 voucher to use at the food trucks
nice.
or food vendors. So you get a free lunch, or not really, it's not really free, but we appreciate your time,
Yes.
and we try to show this
You get compensated
in some ways.
in that way. It's
Yeah.
a compensation. It's a perk.
Yeah, it's a perk. And you get to be at these, another perk is you get to be there and part of that energy of making it happen. And that is one of the things that really keeps me going, is just being part of that wave of energy and that core of people that's making something really good happen. So
And is your goal to get kind of like a cadre of volunteers that can kind of go through the festival season, so you're not trying to reinvent the wheel each festival? I mean, obviously you might have a little bit of ebb and flow, but are you trying to get like a core group?
I think that building those relationships between the people that are volunteering makes you look forward to it even more. And yeah, it's an opportunity to build a team that feels that esprit de corps, and also starting to know how the thing runs and feeling more comfortable, and you'll probably see the same folks coming to the festivals as well.
And then, so that one's in May, the Wildlife Festival, and then then you got a little bit of a break, but then you move into August, and is there anything, I mean, I know the audience is probably pretty familiar with Old Home Days, but we can revisit the big highlights of Old Home Days, and I know you changed some things last year, and you did kind of a look. You looked at it afterwards, probably saw some things work, some things didn't. So what's going to be new and what's going to be the same? That now. I know it could change.
Yeah, so I know that we'll have local food vendors. We already have Bumble's Birria and 802 Soul Kitchen have made commitments to be at all our
Awesome.
festivals this year.
Both of which are yummy.
And both of which, I think Bumble's won the People's Choice at the Old Home Days, and 802 Soul Kitchen won the People's Choice at Flannel Festival. So we know we want them back. We'll be inviting our favorite vendors back, so you'll see some familiar faces and wonderful things to bring into your home or to give as gifts. What else? Live entertainment. We'll have bands playing.
And it's all going to be, just again to reiterate for people that haven't been before, it all takes place at the Waypoint Center.
Takes
correct?
place at the
For most part,
Waypoint
yeah.
Center. And I am, because now we're planning from a little further back. Last year I started in May, so it was a very short runway.
Yeah,
And it
yeah.
was also my first time attending that event. So it was
You
really,
didn't have a historical perspective.
let's make this be as how it can be. And then so we introduced a hoop shooting contest last year, and thanks to Athens Pizza for sponsoring that. 2 kids went who happened to make 10 out of 10 shots. Like, these were not slackers. They earned those prizes. They each got an HP laptop, brand new, to take home.
Nice.
And then there was another, I think the second place was a smartwatch or something like that.
Oh, that's nice. That's
yeah.
really cool.
And then there were also some T-shirts and merch and cards.
And did you do was the hoop shoot at Where was it? Was at
It
the,
was at Old
okay.
Home Days. We also had the Battling Knights in Armor, the
Oh, that's
Vermont
right.
Armored
Yes,
Combat,
Vermont
and
Armored Combat.
I'd
Yeah.
love to have them come back.
Sean and his crew. Yeah.
We had the Boy Scouts, or Scouting America came, and they had their inflatable archery, and I would love to
that's
have
right.
that. We
That's
had
cool.
a dunk tank. We had a bounce house. I've been looking at the foam parties. I would love to do that because it's a hot day in summer, and that's kind of fun. And then another.
Oh, it is. It's always the hottest day. I mean,
Yeah.
literally, I've never known Old Home Days to not be the hottest day of the year.
Yeah, yep. And then one other new thing that we did last year was we had a scannable QR code that you could, on posters at the waypoint, that gave you a walking map over to the Bellows Falls Fish Ladder where they had additional programming.
Okay.
And that really worked well too. They said that their normal daily attendance is 25 to 30. And an event, I think the max they'd ever gotten was about 120. And that day they saw 230 people
Nice.
come by. So
Nice.
we'll be using technology to enable people to go out into the community for the expansion of this event from just at the waypoint. I've been talking to some folks about maybe doing some other activities down at Riverfront Park. So, you know, I have heard that in the past it used to be a town-wide event.
It totally was. It was Rockingham Old Home Days was the big thing was sidewalk sales. Actually,
Yeah.
all the merchants would have at the end of the summer. They'd get rid of their summer merchandise, and so it was. And actually, back in the day, they closed off the square for the Friday. I don't know if they closed it off Friday night, but for sure on Saturday. Well, there's different iterations.
Yeah.
But there was many more. Clothing merchants and things like that. So it was more merchant involved, but it's a catch-22 closing off the square, and then I think it became less of people coming to shop, and it just the whole square changed. It changed how it looked. So then it became more down at the Waypoint Center. But so the idea of driving people back kind of through the square to get, like if they go through the square to get to the fish ladder, then they're going to see the coffee shops, they're going to see the bookstore, they're going to see the places that they can like the best of both worlds. So maybe their merchants aren't having specific sales, but they can at least see the merchants are there.
Yeah.
So that's good.
Yeah, and I would love to, you know, I'm a proponent of access, and you know, having worked at a public access TV station, I know that you can only find the information if it's put out there for you to find, and you have to put it in the places where people look. So having things like posters that give you the directions to go to the next activity, or maybe, you know, with time, possibly developing an app that you can schedule your day and see, oh, at 2:00 there's this talk at the Fish Ladder, or at 1:30 I should go to Moondog Cafe because they're having something special happening, and just letting the hub of the festival be a natural way to extend activities and engagement out into the community. So I'm hoping to bring that to all of the events this year in multiple ways.
Awesome. And I'm assuming it's going to culminate with the fireworks as usual.
I sure hope so. That is actually, we don't organize the
Right.
fireworks,
No,
so
Lisa
I
does,
won't
yeah.
speak for them, but
Yeah.
Hopefully that's how it
I think
goes.
that as long as they are around, they will be doing the fireworks. I think. Yeah, they do a
and,
good job.
Yeah, they were amazing last year, and I had the best seat in the house because I was sitting on there's the replica of the arch bridge at the waypoint, and I was sitting on the cement pillar and just leaning back on the arch bridge and looking up at the fireworks, and I filmed and live streamed it, and I think something like 8,000 people watched.
Yeah, because it's kind of one of those things that I know if you live locally, you can see them from your house or whatever. It's cool, but it's kind of a big undertaking to come into town and then to get out of town. So. And then there's, a lot of people that maybe don't, the sounds triggers or whatever.
Yeah.
So that's a great way for people to see them and to not be triggered or to not have to travel, especially for folks that maybe they can't get out of their houses or whatever, but they can still enjoy it.
Yeah.
Especially with the giant TVs everybody has now.
Yeah,
so it's not
it'll look
it's
like
not
you're
you're
really
looking at it
there.
in a little black and white. So
Yeah, and you can turn the sound off.
you
if
can
want.
turn the sound off.
You could put on some
That's
yoga
exactly
music.
what I would do, is turn the sound off.
Yeah.
So moving on, so we make sure we get everything
Yeah.
about the Southern Vermont Flannel Festival. You are back.
We are
after a
back.
one year
Hiatus.
drop, but I think that you kind of picked right back up running, hit the ground running last year. So it's not even like I don't think it was horribly adversely affected by the lack of there being one for a year.
Yeah, it really felt like just right size.
Oh yeah, definitely that.
You
The
know,
year before was crazy.
Yeah,
that Saturday was crazy.
It felt like the energy in the space. Like everyone was so joyful. I saw people rolling down, like grown-ups rolling down the hill and like frolicking.
You can do that up there.
You can do that up there.
And the huge improvement that you pulled in last year, which was a huge improvement, was parking.
Yes.
You had some very focused people on parking, and I think that solved a lot of the problems with neighbors, because there one year that there was just people parked everywhere on the street once they couldn't get in, and so that's a key for anybody that maybe didn't go last year because they'd gone the year before and couldn't get in, that you now have really tackled that problem.
Yes. Yep. We were really grateful to the Civil Air Patrol for their excellent work in parking, and also just overall safety at the festival. They were there when anything needed to be helped.
I've never been addressed as many times as ma'am as by the folks with the was it an ROTC kind of group?
It's cadets, the
cadets,
Civil Air
right.
Patrol cadets.
Cadets,
Yeah.
yes. They were very polite, and
Yeah.
I was constantly called ma'am.
Yeah, and it's an amazing program for young people who are interested in aviation careers to check out. So that was a really symbiosis that they were able to connect with the community, and we had this
they were
wonderful
great.
service. So yeah.
New things on the horizon, or not? Again, not quite there yet.
I think
got a few things to get through, but
we've got a little time on that one. But I always like to elevate young families and opportunities for youth to connect, and so I'm hoping to develop some ways for that to happen in everything we do, and we shall see that manifest itself in all of our festivals, I think.
nice. Do you have? I mean, I know it's early, but do you have have you already kind of locked in the vendors so that it's some of the same vendors, or is it too early to lock people in?
We're not quite there yet.
Okay.
Yeah, but one of the opportunities that's available for the sponsors, like if you choose a series sponsorship package, is to sponsor a section of the event. So like if you're a Headwaters partner, you could sponsor the children's area, like the family zone, or what we can think of a catchy title, but then your brand is on that banner that says sponsored by this organization.
Ray Masuko used to do that at Roots on the River. He did the same type of thing where people could have, back in the day, the fitness center that I worked for sponsored the kids. They had like a kids area, so parents could listen to the music, and then they had somebody there that would do activities with the kids.
Yep.
So are you is that kind of what you're thinking, that not really babysitting, but at least allowing the parents to maybe go have like lunch together while the kids are having an activity, or have you not quite formulated that
So
yet?
that was one of the suggestions from our feedback survey, our exit survey at the festival, was could there be a place where the kids are up by the stage so parents are able to sit down and not follow them. So I'm, as a person who has designed classrooms and outdoor learning experiences, I think about environment, and how you create a yes environment is one of the things that I learned as a teacher. How do you create a place where the answer can be yes? So how can we create a space where the parents can sit down and enjoy their lunch, and the kids can play, and people can listen to the music? And so I'm thinking about how we intentionally design that.
Perfect. That's good, because it's definitely a festival that draws a lot of families, and it's definitely, it's always a challenge, right? There's not a lot for the kids to do. They get kind of bored.
Yeah.
So, awesome. So we are down to just about a minute. So if you quickly want to just remind people how they can sign up and where they can find the information.
Yes, so please go to gfrcc.org. By the end of the day, I will have all the links up and working. Right now, we've got the sponsorship link as its own page. You can go to GFRCC regional, or let's see,
There it is, Regional
there
Festival
it is,
Series.
Regional Festival Series. And then if you want to volunteer, I believe you can find a link to volunteer on our main page right now. And I'm going to put specific ones on the
you're
events
getting there,
pages
yeah.
today. Yeah.
So you don't have to rush out today.
Yeah.
But maybe,
But keep it in your mind. And
you don't have to do every festival, right? You could choose, like, you just
Right.
want to do one. So I think
Yes.
that's good to make clear that if you sign up as a volunteer, it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be tapped for all three. Maybe maybe you have a window of time in the fall versus the spring. So I think that's important.
Yes. Yep. And my my registration form lets you select those things.
Perfect.
So yeah, you can put in exactly what you want to put in.
Awesome. So you will come back when we're closer and give more details?
Absolutely.
Awesome. Okay.
Thank
Bye,
you.
community. See?